Life does not restart only when circumstances dramatically change. It restarts every morning when you decide to approach the day with a renewed mind. Too many people believe they must wait for a perfect moment, a new year, a new job, or a major life event to begin again. But life quietly offers that opportunity every single day. The sunrise itself is a reminder that the past does not have to control the present. What happened yesterday may have shaped you, but it does not have to define what you do today. When you learn to treat each day as a fresh beginning, your mindset becomes lighter, your energy becomes stronger, and your direction becomes clearer. Many people live under the illusion that change requires dramatic events. They imagine transformation as something that arrives with fireworks, an inspiring speech, a powerful realization, a sudden opportunity. But the Stoics understood something more subtle. Most meaningful change is quiet. It happens through repeated decisions that appear small in the moment, but accumulate into a completely different life. Every day is a crossroads that most people overlook. The moment you wake up, your mind carries two options. You can continue living according to yesterday's emotional residue, yesterday's anger, yesterday's failure, yesterday's self-doubt. Or you can deliberately reset your mental posture and step into the day as if it were a new chapter. The Stoic emperor Marcus Aurelius often wrote to himself in the early hours of the morning. He reminded himself that the day ahead would contain distractions, difficult people, unexpected problems, and moments of frustration. Yet he also reminded himself that none of those circumstances could control his mind unless he allowed them to. This is the foundation of treating every day as a new beginning. It is not pretending the past never happened. It is recognizing that the past has already spent its influence. Yesterday's events cannot be edited, corrected, or erased. They are finished. What remains is the present moment and the decisions you choose to make inside it. When you begin to understand this deeply, something remarkable happens. The emotional weight you once carried begins to loosen. Regret loses its grip. Fear of failure loses its power. Instead of feeling trapped by what already happened, you begin to feel energized by what is still possible. The sunrise becomes more than a routine natural event. It becomes a daily symbol of psychological renewal. The world resets its light every morning, and you have the opportunity to reset your mind. Here are 15 ways to make every day of your life feel like a new beginning. 1. Release yesterday's emotional weight. Carrying yesterday's disappointments into today is like starting a race while holding a heavy burden. Mistakes, regrets, and frustrations lose their power when you refuse to relive them repeatedly. Accept what happened, learn from it, and move forward. A mind that is free from yesterday's emotional clutter is ready to see new opportunities today. One of the most common habits that traps people in cycles of frustration is the constant replaying of yesterday's events. The mind has a strange tendency to revisit painful moments long after they are finished. A conversation that went badly, a mistake made at work, a decision that produced the wrong outcome. Instead of allowing these moments to pass naturally, many people carry them forward into the next day like unfinished business. They wake up still thinking about the argument from the night before. They replay the embarrassing moment again and again. They mentally rehearse what they should have said or done differently. But this mental habit has a cost. Every minute spent reliving yesterday's frustration steals attention from today's possibilities. The Stoics taught that emotional discipline begins with recognizing what is within your control and what is not. Yesterday is not within your control. It has already occurred. The only value it can offer you now is the lesson contained inside it. Imagine two people who both make the same mistake during an important meeting. The first person spends the entire evening criticizing themselves internally, replaying the moment repeatedly. By the next morning, their mind is exhausted. They approach the new day with hesitation and insecurity. The second person takes a different approach. They reflect briefly on what went wrong, extract the lesson, and then deliberately close the mental chapter. When morning arrives, their mind is available for new thinking, new decisions, and new opportunities. Both individuals experienced the same event, but only one allowed it to define the next day. Releasing yesterday's emotional weight does not mean ignoring mistakes. It means processing them efficiently and refusing to carry unnecessary guilt into the future. Each morning, you can ask yourself a simple question. Is there anything from yesterday that I am still holding emotionally? If the answer is yes, examine it briefly. Identify the lesson it offers. Then mentally place the event where it belongs in the past. Your energy belongs to today. 2. Start the day with intentional silence. Before the world fills your mind with noise, take a moment of quiet reflection. Whether through prayer, meditation, or simple breathing, silence centers your thoughts and prepares your mind for clarity. A few minutes of stillness in the morning can shape the entire tone of your day. Modern life begins with noise. The moment many people wake up, their attention is immediately captured by notifications, messages, headlines, and endless streams of information. Before their own thoughts have even fully formed, the opinions and emotions of the outside world begin pouring into their mind. This habit quietly steals one of the most powerful moments of the day, the moment when your mind is still calm enough to establish direction. The Stoics believed that the mind should begin the day deliberately, not reactively. A few minutes of intentional silence can change the way your entire day unfolds. Silence allows you to observe your thoughts instead of being dragged by them. It creates space between your awareness and the emotional momentum of the outside world. In that space, clarity appears. You begin to notice which worries are unnecessary. You recognize which goals truly matter. You become aware of the mental state you want to carry into the day. Silence does not require complex techniques. It can be as simple as sitting quietly for 5 minutes and focusing on your breathing. It can involve reflecting on a single guiding idea, such as patience, discipline, or gratitude. Some people use this time for prayer. Others use it for journaling or contemplation. The specific method matters less than the intention behind it. The purpose is to claim ownership of your mind before the world begins demanding pieces of it. When you begin the day in silence, you start from a position of control rather than reaction. And that control often determines how the next 12 or 16 hours will unfold. 3. Set a clear intention for the day. Instead of drifting through the day reacting to everything around you, decide how you want to show up. Your intention might be to remain patient, productive, focused, or kind. A clear intention creates direction and gives your actions meaning. Most people wake up and immediately enter reaction mode. Emails arrive, tasks appear, conversations demand responses, problems require solutions. By the end of the day, they feel exhausted, yet strangely unsure about what they actually accomplished. This happens because the day unfolded without deliberate direction. An intention acts like a compass. It does not dictate every event that will occur, but it determines how you respond to those events. Suppose your intention for the day is patience. Suddenly, your interactions begin to look different. When someone speaks slowly or makes a mistake, your mind remembers the intention you established in the morning. Instead of reacting with irritation, you pause. When unexpected delays appear, you remind yourself that patience is the discipline you are practicing today. If your intention is focus, you begin filtering distractions more aggressively. You recognize which activities align with your priorities and which ones simply consume time without producing progress. Intentions work because they transform abstract values into practical behavior. Instead of vaguely wishing to be better, you choose one quality and consciously practice it throughout the day. Over time, these daily intentions accumulate into character. 4. Focus on one meaningful action. Many people overwhelm themselves by trying to fix every part of their lives at once. Instead, choose one meaningful action that moves you forward. One habit improved, one task completed, one step toward a goal. Consistent small progress leads to powerful long-term change. One of the most common mistakes in personal growth is attempting too much change simultaneously. People decide they will wake up earlier, exercise daily, read more books, improve their career, strengthen their relationships, and completely transform their lifestyle, all within the same week. The result is predictable. The mind becomes overwhelmed, motivation fades quickly, and the person eventually returns to old habits, believing they lack discipline. But the real problem was not discipline. It was unrealistic pacing. The Stoics approached improvement differently. They believed in focusing on one area at a time and practicing it consistently until it became natural. Imagine someone who decides that their single meaningful action each day will be writing for 30 minutes. At first, the change feels small. 30 minutes does not seem dramatic, but over the course of a year, that small action accumulates into more than 180 hours of focused work. Books are written this way. Businesses are built this way. Skills are mastered this way. By narrowing your focus to one meaningful step each day, you remove the pressure of immediate transformation and replace it with the certainty of steady progress. 5. Forgive yourself daily. Growth requires self-compassion. Everyone makes mistakes, but repeating self-criticism only slows your progress. Forgive yourself for what you did not know before. Then, commit to doing better today. Self-forgiveness allows you to grow instead of staying trapped in guilt. Many people believe harsh self-criticism will motivate them to improve. They assume that by constantly reminding themselves of their failures, they will eventually push themselves toward better behavior. But the human mind does not function well under constant internal attack. When self-criticism becomes excessive, it drains energy instead of producing improvement. The Stoics practiced honest self-evaluation, but they avoided unnecessary emotional punishment. They understood that mistakes are inevitable in the process of learning. The real measure of character is not whether mistakes occur, but whether wisdom increases afterward. Forgiving yourself daily means acknowledging imperfection without surrendering to it. It means recognizing that the person you were yesterday did not possess the same knowledge you have today. And instead of condemning that past version of yourself, you simply commit to acting with greater awareness now. Self-forgiveness is not weakness, it is efficiency. It frees your mind from endless self-accusation and allows your energy to focus on improvement. 6. Practice gratitude intentionally. Gratitude shifts your focus from what is missing to what is already present. Every day holds something worth appreciating, a lesson learned, a moment of peace, a supportive person, or even the simple opportunity to try again. Gratitude strengthens resilience and optimism. The human brain has a natural bias toward noticing problems. This bias once helped our ancestors survive dangerous environments, but in modern life it often creates unnecessary negativity. People easily identify what is going wrong while overlooking what is going right. Practicing gratitude deliberately retrains this mental pattern. Each day, you begin to notice small advantages that previously escaped your attention. The quiet comfort of a safe home, the opportunity to learn new skills, the presence of individuals who care about your well-being. These details may appear ordinary, yet they form the foundation of a meaningful life. Gratitude does not ignore difficulty. Instead, it prevents difficulty from becoming the only thing you see. When practiced consistently, gratitude builds emotional resilience. Even during challenging periods, your mind retains the ability to recognize value within the present moment. 7. Strengthen your body. Physical movement reminds your mind that you are alive and capable. Whether through exercise, stretching, or walking, movement energizes your body and clears your thoughts. A healthy body supports a focused and determined mind. The Stoics believed that caring for the body was part of caring for the mind. Physical movement does more than improve health, it also changes mental state. A short walk can dissolve mental tension. A session of exercise can transform frustration into focused energy. When the body moves, the mind often finds clarity that seemed impossible while sitting still. 8. Feed your mind with positive input. What you read, watch, and listen to shapes your thinking. Choose information that encourages growth, wisdom, and perspective. Learning something new each day keeps your mind active and open to change. The mind absorbs the environment it repeatedly encounters. If you constantly consume negativity, fear, and conflict, those emotions gradually become your default mental atmosphere. But when you intentionally choose content that promotes insight and reflection, your thinking begins to mirror those qualities. Books, lectures, thoughtful conversations, and meaningful ideas become mental nutrition. Just as the body requires healthy food to function properly, the mind requires healthy information to develop wisdom. 9. Protect your environment. The people and influences around you affect your mindset more than you realize. Spend time with those who encourage growth and distance yourself from constant negativity. Your environment should support the person you are becoming. Human behavior is deeply influenced by surroundings. If you spend most of your time around individuals who complain constantly, avoid responsibility, and dismiss ambition, their mindset gradually influences yours. But when you surround yourself with people who value discipline, curiosity, and integrity, those qualities begin to feel normal rather than exceptional. 10. Speak to yourself with encouragement. Your internal dialogue shapes your confidence and motivation. Replace harsh self-criticism with constructive guidance. Instead of saying, "I failed again," remind yourself, "I learned something important." Your mind believes what you repeatedly tell it. The conversation inside your mind continues all day, whether you notice it or not. When that internal voice constantly repeats discouraging messages, motivation weakens. But when the same voice offers guidance instead of condemnation, the mind remains engaged in improvement. 11. Let go of comparison. Comparing your progress to others can create unnecessary frustration. Every journey unfolds differently. Focus on your own improvement rather than measuring yourself against someone else's timeline. Your progress becomes more meaningful when it is measured against your past self. Comparison distracts attention from the only path you truly control, your own. Someone else's success does not reduce the possibilities available to you. But constant comparison convinces the mind that progress is meaningless unless it exceeds the progress of others. 12. Do something kind for someone else. Helping others creates a sense of connection and purpose. A simple act of kindness can change someone's day and remind you that your presence matters. Kindness strengthens both the giver and the receiver. Small gestures often produce powerful emotional effects. Offering encouragement, sharing knowledge, or simply listening to someone who needs support reinforces the understanding that your actions influence the lives around you. 13. Embrace small challenges. Growth rarely happens inside comfort. Each day, challenge yourself in a small way. Learn something difficult, attempt a task you avoided, or face a fear that once held you back. Small acts of courage accumulate into personal transformation. Courage is rarely dramatic. Most courage appears in quiet decisions, the decision to speak honestly, attempt something unfamiliar, or persist through temporary discomfort. 14. Stay curious about life. Curiosity keeps your mind fresh and engaged. Instead of approaching the day with routine boredom, look for something new to learn or experience. Curiosity transforms ordinary days into opportunities for discovery. A curious mind resists stagnation. Even familiar environments reveal new insights when approached with attention. 15. End the day with reflection. Before sleeping, take a few minutes to review your day. Ask yourself what went well, what you learned, and how you can improve tomorrow. Reflection turns daily experiences into wisdom and prepares your mind for the next beginning. The Stoics often practiced nightly reflection as a way of converting experience into understanding. Instead of letting the day disappear unnoticed, they examined it carefully, and extracted lessons that would shape tomorrow's actions. A new beginning is not a rare moment reserved for dramatic change. It is a daily decision to reset your mindset and move forward with intention. When you learn to see each day as a fresh opportunity, you stop waiting for life to change and start actively shaping it. Say this to yourself and write it in the comments. Today is my chance to begin again.